Hello everyone, we are back after 14 long months of waiting. And today, I'm going to guide you through the Deep Stone Crypt, starting with the entrance and the security room. Let's get it. The entrance is a Crota's End style encounter where your team needs to go from safe zone to safe zone in the freezing cold on your pikes and or sparrows. The pikes are mainly there for a triumph, but sparrows will work better in general. I'm not going to really try to explain exactly where to go in word form, so just watch along on screen to find where to go. Before you head inside, follow along on screen for the only real hidden chest of the raid. There's one more later on, but it's really not that hidden. Before you get to the security room, be sure to grab this first of 5 collectibles for an exotic ghost. Alright, now you've made it to the security room. The goal of this encounter is to disable the shields of the 6 security fuses and to blow them all up, so let's discuss how to do that. Team composition does not really matter here. You can bring any combination of anything and be just fine. While stasis is pretty fun, it's not necessary whatsoever. Weapon-wise, you'll want to bring overload rounds for captains that will be spawning in. Otherwise, short-range weapons are going to be ideal here. You're going to want to bring guns with very high burst damage in a short amount of time for the fuses. I've been using grenade launchers and full auto shotguns. I think those are safe options, but my team also used 1000 Voices, Wardcliff Coil. I've heard good things about Xenophage, so you do have a lot of options here. You're going to split your team into 2 groups, the light room and the dark room, left and right, whatever you want to call it. One person is going to be the operator and 2 people will trade off being the scanner. These roles will be recurring during the entire raid, but their functionality will differ per encounter. However, generally speaking, the operator does a thing and the scanner looks for a thing. In this fight, the operator is the one who will be going downstairs into the lower area, while the scanners will tell the operator which buttons to press by looking down under certain areas of the map that can be seen through. The goal here in the first phase is to have the operator press 4 buttons in order to trigger the next phase. So let's talk about how to get there. The fight starts when a player picks up the operator buff from the augment terminal station. If someone with a buff dies, the buff will either respawn on an enemy or will stay on the ground and can be picked up, although I believe the latter is for later encounters. The operator doesn't need to go downstairs just yet though, and I would encourage you to not, because it appears that if you are downstairs for too long, about a minute or so, the security will engage and you'll be lit on fire. And you'll die. So the operator will want to wait for the scanner buff to appear in the form of a vandal so that someone else can pick it up. This enemy should be killed and the scanner buff picked up by someone else. You can't hold the operator and scanner buff at the same time, and neither can the augment terminal. The scanner should then start looking in the slots to see which buttons need to be pressed. You'll know it needs to be pressed because it will be glowing yellow and other buttons will not. We'll go over callouts towards the end with examples. After both buttons are found on one side, the scanner will pass the buff to the other side via the augment terminal since the doors will be locked. Note that if any servitors are alive, the terminal will not work. Kill them immediately. Enemies will also spawn when the buff is switched. That new scanner will find their 2 buttons on their side for a total of 4 buttons. During the buff transition is when the operator should head downstairs. Here's what the operator point of view looks like. To open the doors, simply shoot the corresponding panel. This is what you're going to do to push the buttons as well. When downstairs, you'll have a lot of stealth melee vandals spawning in the entire time. You can kill them, you can ignore them, it's completely up to you. However, I would be very careful about where you choose to engage them, as it's quite possible to accidentally shoot a button, and shooting the wrong button means death. Regardless, your goal down here is to simply shoot the 4 buttons that the scanners tell you to shoot. Once you shoot all 4, the preparation phase begins. The goal in this damage prep phase is to swap the scanner buff downstairs to the operator and the operator buff upstairs. To do this, the operator will drop their buff into the switcher and someone upstairs will take it. The scanner will drop in their buff and the player downstairs, previously the operator, will take it. The reason is because the downstairs player needs to call out which of these security fuses is active, for lack of a better word, to the upstairs players to shoot, but needs the scanner to see the correct fuse. Shooting the wrong fuse will, you guessed it, wipe you. After the downstairs player gets the scanner buff, the shields will come down and you will enter the damage phase. The fuses that the now new scanner needs to look at are on the sides of the pillar right next to the terminal, 3 on the left and 3 on the right. The scanner simply calls out which one is lit up. People upstairs shoot it, it breaks, and then you move to the next one. There is no specific pattern that they will pop up in, but I've noticed that more often than not they will go back and forth between sides. While on contest mode it might have been better to go back and forth, without contest on, I'd really just recommend staying split on your sides. One thing to note is that during this phase, exploder shanks will be spawning in. On contest mode, they killed us pretty badly. In the regular version, they may not be as lethal, but you should absolutely be aware of them and try to kill them as you transition. Or you can just stand on the pillars and not have to worry about them at all. Once the shields close off, the operator, who is upstairs, needs to go let the scanner out from downstairs since they can't get out. Leaving someone downstairs, again, does lead to a death if they are down there for too long. Swap places to continue the fight. The scanner should walk directly up to the door leading to the light or dark room for it to open. The doors are very picky about who can be where at one time, so make sure that the operator is the only one in that area after you are freed from downstairs. The reason I suggest doing this swap is, again, because if you remain downstairs for too long, you will get burned. But if your team is confident in moving quickly enough, then as long as you swap the buffs back to their original players, you probably won't have to rotate people. Repeat this process until all of these security nodes have been disabled. Finally, let's talk about callouts. The callouts that my team now uses are the following. We split the rooms into light and dark. Buttons are labeled 1 through 5, with 1 being on the opposite side of where the operator door is, and 5 being the closest button to that door. When it comes to the canisters, they are labeled as light and dark, left, middle, and right as you would look at them. This cuts down on a lot of the confusion for us, but you should label things however they work for your team. Here's an example run from my team's first attempt at security after contest has been disabled. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you at the next fight.
What did you shoot on our middle one, Datto?
Grenade launcher.
Okay. So I'm pretty sure I didn't even need to shoot a second one, okay?
Did that take contest damage as well?
Of course.
I'm sure it did.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we closed out way faster today.
I'm okay.
Oh, I should be probably looking for things, shouldn't I?
Yeah, I was sitting here waiting.
Sorry, that's my bad. I think it's D4, D5, because
D45. Okay.
I don't see anything. Yep, D5. D4. Coming to swap.
Okie dokie.
There you go.
D5.
Yeah, so the swap is what triggers the ads. Good to know.
It's light 3 and 4 again.
Light 3 and 4. Okay. Light. Get ready. Done. Transferring buff.
We're
Now, killing servitor.
Buff transferred.
Okay, grabbing buff. Got it.
Light middle.
Sorry, I almost stepped in front of that 1K.
Dark left. Light left. Dark middle, dark middle, dark middle. Light right, light right.
Oh,
Your last one, go, right, right.
One phase, shoot it.
Oh
Wow.
no! You got it?
So much easier.
We got it.
Bruh.
Yeah, one 1K shot and like 3 nades. Got it.
Yeah.
Bro.
I was not even trying to shoot my second one.
Dude.
Yeah.
That was insane.